Hi guys, this is Rosa Kelly. So today we're going to start a new tutorial using the Greatest Show collection. We are going to use some 110-pound cardstock, also some glue, double-sided tape, and all your usual crafty tools. So now let's get started with the base page. Now this album is going to be three-dimensional, so the construction is going to be very different from what we've done before, and I actually think it's going to be a lot easier too. So let's get right to it. I am going to start with the 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and we are going to score our 6.5, and then I'm going to score at 4.25. Okay, so that is going to be the base page, and this is what we're going to do to all the pages. And we are going to now trim on these top square pieces. We're going to cut a section from the top score line until the side, and then the same thing on the other side as well. So we're just gonna line this up here with your paper cutter or trimmer, and like this. So we're gonna take this triangle piece out, and we are going to do the same on this other side as well. Okay, so here we go. Now we have the basic shape of our album, and we are going to fold these along the center score line, just like that. This is what we have, the long score line going down the middle. So this is all we're going to be doing in terms of construction. So we're going to need 8 pieces of that. So now I have all my different elements cut out and I am ready to start decorating my album. So I am going to cut 8 pieces using my design paper, and these are going to measure 8 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I'm just going to cut this piece like so. And what we're going to do to this piece is we're going to fold this in half, just like so. And then we're going to add some glue only on the side. So I'm just going to go kind of from the half to the edge, and same thing here, from that half to the edge, just like that. And I'm going to now line up the center fold line to my bending line, just like so. And then I'm gonna open this up and just press down like so. So that way this page is still going to fold as we navigate through the book. So now I'm going to cut another piece of paper at 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and this is going to be for the top piece here. And so what we're gonna do with this is just fold it in half like so, and so that way we can find the center, just like that. And then we're going to cut from this corner down to that center line. So I'm just going to line this up to the center like this. Here we go. And same thing on this other side. Here we go, like this. There we go. So just make sure you have the corners. And now we can add this piece on the top here, just like that. So I'm also going to just glue on the sides, and same thing here like so, just glue on the sides. And now I'm going to line this up to the center. Okay, and just press down on this piece. And here we go. So now we have the first page cover. Now you do want to close it and just make sure that we have it, you know, folded on the right place. There you go. So now I'm going to use my different elements to decorate the front cover here. So I'm thinking I'm using this lady on the center. I am going to distress the edges just a little bit using my vintage photo distress ink, and I'm going to just go really quick around it. And also I'm going to go around all these different pieces. All right, so now I'm going to start adding these elements into the cover. So I'm going to use this girl as the centerpiece of the album. So I am going to fold her in half because you know, this is where the book bends. So you want to kind of fold this ahead of time and know exactly how it's going to work. So I'm going to fold it both ways, that way it's very flexible. And I'm going to add this just using some foam tape. So I'm going to use foam tape on the sides, just like this. And then we're just going to try to line up this folding line to the folding line on the book, which is right there. And then we're just going to add these to the center, and I'm gonna push her in because this is gonna fold inwards like that, and then it will open flat like so. So there we go, we have that piece. And then I'm going to use some other elements from the collection, and I'm thinking I want to use that one. Definitely want to use these clowns, and I'm not a clown person, but I think they're actually adorable, so they're kind of growing on me. So I'm going to again add these pieces using some foam tape. So now we're done with the cover. I just love how this turned out. It looks very like dynamic. You can see all the different elements and the different people that, you know, like do the show. So then when we open these belts, I also went ahead and cover the inside where the magnets are, and I covered just enough to cover the magnets. You do want to leave this empty space here because this is where it's bending, so you want that to be a little bit more flexible. So, and then also what I like is that we have those two magnets, so this piece is going to kind of hide away when we go through the pages. So now let's decorate the inside of the pages. For that, I already went ahead and cut some design papers, and here they are at the same size that we did the front here. So this will measure 8 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm not going to glue them yet. What I'm going to do is work on each one of these separately. So first thing we want to do, and I think I have, you're gonna need 9 more pages. So we're going to do the same thing we did. We're gonna fold this in half, and then I'm going to decorate each one you know, separate from the book, and then we're just gonna go ahead and glue everything down. So for this, I want to do a little waterfall element, and I want this waterfall to be small enough to fit on this half of the page. And I'm just going to, let's see, let me think, maybe the waterfall can be a small little, let's do a 2.5 by 2.5 pieces. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 2.5 by 2.5, and we can probably repeat the designs that we're gonna do for some of these pages. So maybe I'll do two pages the same. So I'm going to cut 8 pieces. So then I'm going to cut one long piece that measures 2.5, and this is right now 2.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score at half, 1, 1.5, and 2. And since I'm making 2, I'm going to do the same on this one here. Okay, and then we're just gonna fold along the lines and start adding our little waterfall pieces. So here we go. We're just gonna fold one by one, just like this. And then we're going to start adding these pieces from the bottom. So we're gonna use this first 1/2 inch and add this down here, just like that. And then we're gonna do the next 1/2 inch to the next piece, just like so. And then we're gonna do the other 2. There we go. And make sure these are, lining up on the sides there. And then we're gonna do the last one, just like so. Okay, so now I'm just gonna place this down. There we go. And then I'm going to trim this out about 1/2 inch away from the last line. So I'm just going to line this last one at 1/2 inch, and then I'm just going to trim just like that. So we have this small little piece, and I'm going to do the next one the same way. All right, so now we're gonna add this to the page, and to do that I cut a little piece here of 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. It's just a long little strip that we are going to glue into the page. So where's the center? Okay, so make sure you don't glue it on the center. You want to glue this just a little bit to the side, and I'm going to add glue only on the edges like this. And we're going to place this kind of on the center towards the bottom a little bit, and make sure you can still fold this piece down. All right, and now we're gonna grab the first little waterfall, open that up, and we're gonna insert that into this little belt, and then we're gonna close it. Make sure that you have it where you want it, just like that. Then I'm going to open this again, and I'm going to add glue just on the belt here, as you can see. And I'm just gonna close this down, and there you go. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and on the meantime I'm going to do the same on this other page. So now we have these 2 waterfalls, and then to embellish this page I'm going to use this clown, and then I think I'm also going to use this cute little horse. So I'm just gonna cut this one out. So I have the horse, and now we're just gonna add this one. I put some foam tape on the back to give it some dimension, and we're just gonna place this on the side. Now make sure you don't place it where your bending line is, so we're just gonna move it more towards here. And then we have this fun little waterfall, and I might add a little pull tab or something to help it go down, but this is how that works. And on this other one, I think I'm going to use that little clown, but I do want to add another little area to add a picture here. So I'm just gonna glue this little black piece of cardstock, and that's where we're going to put a picture. Okay, so we're just gonna place that right there like so, and then I'm going to add this little clown right here on the side, and I'm going to make sure that he stands out, but at the same time we have room to add a picture on the back. So I'm just gonna cut small little section here and put it behind his arm, and then another bigger section for his feet. Let's do it like this. Okay, and then we're gonna place him here on the side. Okay, so here we go. Put him right there, and then we have a place to add a picture here and another little waterfall on this side. All right, so now we're gonna work on the next two layouts, and I'm also going to fold this in half just like that, and I'm going to do both at the same time here just to make this go a lot quicker. And what I'm gonna do for this one is just a simple accordion fold. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of 65-pound cardstock, and I'm going to cut these at 5.5, just right on half. And then I'm going to score at 4 and at 8. So let me bring this one over here. We're gonna place this in your scoreboard and score at 4 and at 8, just like that. And I'm going to do the same for all these pieces. So now we're gonna fold along the score lines just like this, and we're gonna use this little 1/2 inch as a connection to put 2 pieces together, just like that. Okay, and we're going to use this other 1/2 inch to put it inside our booklets here. So first I'm going to add some glue right there like so, and then I'm going to place this right on top of the other one, just like that. And then I'm going to open one of these layouts and just add this piece here on the center, and make sure that we can still close it, so I think works just fine. So now you can add it to this side, so you can open it to the right, or you can do the opposite way if you want to do it to the left, but I think I'm going to do mine on the right there like so. And then I'm going to place this right on top of the other one, just like that. And then I'm going to open one of these layouts and just add this piece here on the center, and make sure that we can still close it, so I think works just fine. So now you can add it to this side, so you can open it to the right, or you can do the opposite way if you want to do it to the left, but I think I'm going to do mine on the right. So I'm just going to add to my glue, and I am going to add this in here, just like that. And let's just try to center it, and make sure you're not touching this center score line. All right, and let's also double check that it closes without, sticking out of the page or anything like that. And I'm going to do the same here with this other one. So now I'm going to cover these pieces with, these are the 4x6 cards that I actually trimmed to 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I just kind of centered the image around that. So we're just gonna add one in there and one here. All right, so now I'm going to use some different pieces to embellish these pages a little more. So I'm going to use just black cardstock, and this will be a place for a picture in here. I'm just gonna center this side to side, make sure it will still bend easily, and same thing on this other one. So we're making twin pages, and they will go one on each side of the book, since the book opens both sides. And I wanted to use some of these other elements to kind of add more detail to the page, and I'm using this page from the A4 set, and I'm just gonna cut these little tags. Okay, and then we're going to add this into the page here. I'm just gonna put this one on this side, so I'm going to glue the bottom only, and for this one I'm going to do the popcorn that we cut previously. Again, I'm just gluing the bottom so we can add a picture behind that, and then maybe I'll do some of these little tickets here. So I have these little tickets. I'm going to glue some of them here as well. So I think I'm just gonna do something like this. Just a little bit of glue on the bottom and add it just like that. And then on this one I'm going to use these fresh popcorn little tickets. So maybe I'll just put that on the bottom. And normally I would do some like foam tape, but I already have a lot of volume going on this page, so I'm not going to give it anymore. I'm going to try to keep this as flat as possible. So these are our next two layouts, and then we're gonna do two more. So now we're going to do the last two sides. Actually, we have three more, but let's work on these two that are going to be the same. And I'm just gonna fold them in half again. Now we're gonna use some more of this cardstock paper. Now this, again, I'm just using 65 pounds for the inside layouts, because I don't want to make these too thick. The 110 will probably be too thick, so I'm just using that for the base. All right, so now I have three pieces here, and for these ones what I want to do is kind of like I'll show you a little booklet. So I'm going to trim all of these ones into 4 1/4, just like that. And these are going to just be folded in half. So I have 6 of these now, since I split them in half. So I'm just gonna fold these right on half like that, and this should be able, oh actually no, they won't fit. I have to trim this a little bit smaller. So not at 4 1/4, we're gonna cut these at 4 inches, and you can actually even do, let's do 3 3 3/4, sorry. And because this, I just want this to be able to fit within this space on the half here. Okay, so 3 3/4, and then we're gonna fold in half. So let me trim these ones again at 3 3/4 right here, just like that. And same thing on these ones, 3 3/4. Okay. And now I'm going to fold all of these ones in half, just like this. There we go. And then we're gonna have 6 of these pieces. So now I'm going to use another piece of cardstock here, just something from my scraps, and I'm going to trim this at 3 3/4 by 1 inch. Okay, and we are going to need 4 of these little pieces. And we're going to score these little pieces at 1/2 inch, and these are going to be the connector pieces for my little booklets. So I'm just going to do 1/2 inch on all of these ones, and then we're gonna fold these in half, just like this. Okay, so I'm gonna fold all of them. So then we're gonna use these connector pieces and put them together. So I'm going to glue on one of the sides, and we're just gonna put this along the top. There we go. And make sure you have the opening on the bottom. And then I'm going to do just a bit more glue on this other side and place the next one right on top. Now you can also use double-sided tape for this step if you like, but I just find glue being a lot easier. And then also you have a little bit more time to kind of move it around and make sure it lines up. And then I'm going to do the last piece. So we're going to put 3 together, and that will be one little booklet. And then I'm going to do the same with the other 3 pieces. So now we have the 2 booklets put together, and now we can add them into this little page and make the layout. So I'm going to do one on this side, and I'm just gonna glue the whole piece down onto here, and make sure that it's center, and double check that you are not gluing your piece on top of your folding line. And there you go. So that's one, and then there is this other one, and I'm just gonna put it right here. So now I'm going to use some of these elements to decorate this layout. So I have all these different pieces cut out, and I also cut some mats to decorate this part of the booklet, the front of the booklet. So I'm just gonna glue this down here, and then I am going to embellish that using some of these cutouts. I always like to cut a few pieces ahead, that way I can just place them down and see what I want to do. I want this area to be for a picture, so I'm just gonna add this little circus on the top and leave it empty, just like that. Make sure that it will open up, so maybe it needs to be fully inside the booklet, like that, so it can open up. And then I have this piece that I want to use. Maybe I'll add this one here. I'm thinking to add it in the corner and make it into like a little tag spot. So I'm just gonna glue it like this and line it up on the corner like so. Okay, and then I have the little tags that I cut that we can add in here, and maybe these tags are too small. We have larger tags on the other pages, so I'll cut some of those, but let me finish up with this other one. So again, I'm going to do the same thing, just glue this down like that. And for this one, I'm gonna use this other tag, and I'm gonna put it on the bottom this time. Okay, and then a picture can go in here, and then I can use this piece here as a corner tag again. And let me just glue this like that. Maybe we can make this into a full, like a pocket thing, and just center it here. Yeah, maybe we'll do that on this one. And then this one should be good for these little tags to go in. Yeah, just like that. And then I have these tickets that I want to use somewhere. Maybe I'll add that there, maybe not. I'll put this little one. We can put this little one right there. Okay, so I think these ones will be good for that little tag spot. And now that we have all of these layouts ready, we can go ahead and add them into our book. So let me bring the book back in here. And oh my goodness, I love it. It looks so pretty. So let me open this up like that, and then we can figure out where we want to put the booklet. So let me do, since I did basically duplicates of each one, will be on each one of the sides. And let me do the, and then these two. Okay, so we're going to glue the edges. So I'm just going to add glue just about an inch from the edge here, and about an inch from the edge here as well. And I'm just gonna place this on the center and just line up one side like this, and then just close the whole thing and see where that glues. And there we go. So now we have these pieces. And the reason why I only glue the sides is because you want to allow these to open, so you kind of need that void space in between. And then I'm going to continue adding all of the pages. So I think the next one that I'm going to do is this accordion fold, and we're going to add it in the same way. So we'll do one side, place it right there like this, make sure this closes, and then glue on this other side here. Okay, there we go. Like that. And then we're gonna do the last one here in the same way. So I'm going to glue this side, and I'm actually gonna put it right there first. Oops. Okay, and make sure this closes. Okay, and now I'm going to do this side. All right. So now we have the first side of the book like this. And now we're going to repeat on the other side. All right, so this side over here has a one more extra page, the way this was parted on the side, because we have the other page as the back piece. So on this one, because it's getting a little bit bulky, this is the last page here, I'm just going to place this down, and it will just be room for pictures. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold, I'm actually gonna use this side. So I'm gonna fold this in half like this, and maybe I'll add just 2 photo mats to add pictures. So let me cut the photo mats at, let's do like maybe 4.5 by 3 3/4. So they will be smaller photo mats like that, maybe 3.5. There we go. 4.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to do 2 right here, and then I'm going to decorate that using one of these characters that I didn't get to use yet. So I'm gonna cut this around. All right, so I have this guy, and I'm just going to glue these photo mats, one on each side. So this page will be pretty flat, which is good because the book is getting a little bit bulky. And I'm gonna do his feet and just his hands here so it won't break. And just add him right on the corner. And then we can add a picture on the back, and then after I add the picture, I'll probably glue this down too. And then I'm going to do the other photo mat in here, just like that. And then I have this little cutout that says circus is art, and I like that, so I'm gonna put it just on the bottom so we can add a picture in here as well. And now we can place this picture on the last page here. Added this page here, and even though the album is quite bulky on this side, we can still open this page flat since we only glue the side, so that looks it's easy to navigate the book. So now we're gonna cut the same piece that we cut here on the front, and we're gonna glue that on each one of the pages for both sides. So let me just close this up for now. All right, so now let's decorate the back. So the back is actually also going to be one of the sides of this album, so you want this to look pretty as well. So I'm going to use the same size paper, and I'm just going to fold this in half. Actually, this looks a little bit smaller because I'm using my scrap pieces, but I am going to use these two little pieces here as well to put on the top and the bottom to fill that black space. So first I'm going to glue, and I'm also not going to glue everything down, even though this page it's a little bit more flat. We're still gonna bend this later on. So I'm going to line up the center and just glue it. So then I'm going to add these pieces on the top and on the bottom, and just like that. All right, and I should have just glued the corners, I think, but it's okay. And then I have this piece that it will be the same piece that you're gonna cut for all of the inside tops as well. So this measures 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then you're gonna fold this on half and then just trim it like this, and you're gonna get this shape that will fit on the top. So I am going to glue this down, and for the back I'm just gonna glue the whole thing, but for the inside pages you want to glue only on the sides. Okay, and I'm going to add it right here, and there you go. We are done with our little book. I hope that you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.